Infant Annihilator is easily one of the most popular deathcore bands out there, but the question is, why? Is it because they don't take themselves too seriously? Is it the fact that their drum is kind of unplayable? Or is it simply because they piss people off? Well, today, let's deep dive together and find out. So, as usual, my friend, take a cup of coffee, cigarette, brownies, whatever you feel like, as we explore the Infant Annihilator story.
That's a video we reacted to earlier.
Real quick, before starting the video, if you didn't join our Discord, the link is in the description. We also have a live podcast on Twitch every Wednesday. And with all that being said, let's start the video. Oh, also, you might wonder why there's a chair here. The reason is pretty simple. It's because I have this little guy here.
Aww.
Isn't he adorable?
Yeah, that's cute. I have a pug, but she's asleep.
Anyway, there you go, buddy. You're good. You're good. So the band was founded in 2012 in Kingston upon Hull, and the original lineup consisted of Eddie Pickard and, of course, the infamous Aaron Kitcher. The name Infant Annihilator was basically a parody of every brutal death metal band with like crazy exaggerated names, if you will. They really wanted to pick like the most over the top brutal name they could find, and to be fair, I think they succeeded. During their first year as a band, they self-recorded a full instrumental album, and then
So I looked into that one, yeah. They I'm not sure if it was that album or the other album they have, but they did like studio updates. I'm pretty sure it's this one. Not sure.
Then on Facebook, they heard the voice of, or the scream of, Dan Watson. Extremely talented, and as many of you already know, he went on and became the vocalist of Enterprise Hurt. So yeah, they basically asked Dan if he would like to do some vocals for their song Decapitation Fornication, and just like that, they released their infamous first official video.
There's a lot of dry humping in the video.
Okay, where to start? I think the song is great. Like, honestly, it's very good. The vocals are super gnarly. The instrumental is crazy and very over the top in a good way. And as for the video, do I really need to explain what's going on? I don't think so. That being said, I think the fact that they didn't take themselves too seriously and they would do a video like that kind of made them stand out. It reminded me of Smosh and I Set My Friends on Fire. I don't know if you remember that.
What about, he forgot Party Cannon. It's like everything looks so joyful until you listen to the song.
But this video literally went viral, which is something that they were not expecting at all, I believe. After seeing all the crazy amount of comments and reaction all over the internet, the band decided to finish the album. Remember, I told you they made like the full instrumental. Now it was time to put Dan's vocal over all the songs, which brings us to this.
So I forgot to mention that when I learned about Dickie Allen in the I think it was the second album in 2015, I thought Dickie Allen was the original. So I just learned that today, that that guy was the original vocalist.
December 2012, when the band officially released The Palpable Leprosy of Pollution. I don't know what that means.
Me neither.
very good album. To me, they were kind of the new We Came We're Broken Thieves. I mean, not in terms of recording, but mostly in terms of being super over the top and extreme, experimental even, not taking themselves too seriously. Musically, I think it's very good. The crazy fast drumming makes it sound very interesting to me. Dan vocals were just insane. He did a great job, I believe. If I'm being honest, the song titles and the lyrics really makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, if you do want to go through the lyrics of that band, I'm just warning you, it's terrible. So I just listened to it because I really like the music.
I legit just chose the least offensive name to represent the album. Just reading those lyrics was kind of hurting my soul. That being said, I'm fully aware that this was a parody, it's part of their brand, it was fully intended. But yeah, as you can see, I'm still a fan of the band. I'm just choosing to ignore the lyrics and take it as a vibe. Anyway, the official release was made on December 12, 2012, which meant 12-12-12, an idea that was pitched by Dan at the time, which he apparently ultimately regretted because he didn't have much time to, do all the songs. Because the way they did it was the band would send one song at a time and Dan was working full time, so it made it pretty long as a process. And in the end, he felt like he could have done better. That being said, to me, he did something amazing, and I think almost everybody can agree on that. So Dan, if you are watching this, you were being too hard on yourself.
Definitely.
Also, before moving on, I think it's worth mentioning that Lucas from Rings of Saturn was featured on one of their songs.
Hold on, I absolutely love Rings of Saturn. I did not know that he was featured. Let me play that back.
Was featured on one of their songs.
Yeah, definitely that is him because he loves to do that.
The album was very well received with great reviews, which to me was extremely surprising considering it's a deathcore band. The thing is, when you don't take yourself too seriously, it makes it very difficult for people to attack you. Then, if you add to that actual talent and technicality, it makes it almost impossible to shit on them. I don't know. I think at this point, people were just super excited to finally see something different. And talking about doing something different, I really wanted to include that in the video. They made a cover of Pray for Plague, and it's honestly one of my favorite.
What the hell is Aaron wearing? Aaron.
So freaking sick. I mean,
Aaron is like the funniest one out of all of them. I love him.
I also wanted to include it because to me, it's one of the best performances from Dan. Like, if you hear those vocals, it's crazy. He really nailed it. Unfortunately, not too long after that, Watson officially announced on Facebook that he would be quitting Infant Annihilator. I actually found the original statement. Being in Infant Annihilator has been an amazing experience for me. Over the past 2 years, I've met so many amazing people and I've learned so much. This experience has pushed me to become a better vocalist and a better person. This truly has been an experience that I will never forget. Unfortunately, I have to step down as vocalist lyricist of Infant Annihilator. My life is getting harder and more complicated, and I need to make decisions to secure a better future for myself and my loved one, no matter how hard these decisions may be. I want to thank every single one of you who supported me and everyone that didn't. I love you all no matter what. This doesn't mean I'm done being a vocalist. I will continue to do vocals no matter how hard and complicated things get. This is my passion in life. To keep updated on my work, subscribe to my YouTube channel. This has truly been an experience that I will never forget. Thank you. But it wasn't the only reason why he left, since later on he made that statement. I put so much into that record and watched them reap all the rewards. When people think Infant and later, they think Aaron and Eddie. I felt like my talent was wasted and used, so I decided to leave. Why continue to work hard? Not only that, I had to prove to myself that they're not the only reason why Infant and Later was a success. I had to prove to myself that I was an equal contributor to that success. I don't know. To me, it's one of those situations that if you weren't there, you just don't know. Like, it's between them and it's gonna stay like that, probably. I just think it doesn't matter. The important part is that they respected themselves. Fortunately for the band, it didn't stop them from moving on, because as Aaron was drumming for a band called Desolated, he officially met the infamous Dickie Allen during one of their shows. At the time, Dickie was on the same tour with Traitors because he's a friend, like a close friend of the band or something. By the way, Dickie is such a nice guy, he's basically friend with everyone. Anyway, when Dickie was featured live and Aaron heard his vocals, for him, it was clear that Dickie would be the perfect vocalist for Infant. So they kept in touch, and later on, they made a super weird announcement, very much on brand with what they usually do. During that period of time, they recorded the vocals together and they made some pretty cool studio updates.
The stench of feces and fertile flesh.
Which, my friends, brings us to July 2016, when Infant and Annihilator officially released their brand new album called The Elysian Grandival Galeriard. Whatever, just...
That part kind of sounded like the solo from Guns N' Roses. Did you hear that? Yeah, that's the first time I heard that.
This album is insane. This is honestly one of the best deathcore albums of all time, and I'm not kidding. I think in very early deathcore, we had this sort of experimental element that we kind of lost over time. As I very often say in pretty much all my videos, what makes deathcore special is the intensity, the surprise, with all those crazy over-the-top moments, right? And I'm not talking about over the top in a theatrical setting, written at a specific time in a pop structure song. I'm just talking about random, weird, surprising elements. I don't know, just things that you wouldn't expect at all. That's what I personally like. It makes it fun and interesting. Musically, it's very technical and melodic. They have some crazy breakdowns, amazing slam parts, everything you want. It's the essence of deathcore, and I'm here for it. the vocals are just absolutely incredible. No disrespect to Dan, but Dickie Allen is the absolute perfect fit for the band. No contest. He's matching so perfectly the intensity of the band with his insane range of crazy vocals. Also, it's kind of hard to explain, but since they recorded all together as opposed to the first album, it was done via the internet, you know, like Dan was pretty far and stuff like that, but you can feel this sort of live energy thing. They had some amazing features on this album as well, including Tyler Shelton, Brian Long, and Dylan Becker. Pretty wild if you ask me. The freaking production on this album is so good. Big shout out to Jesse Kirkbride. He did such a great job. In terms of lyrics, once again, I'm not the biggest fan. That being said, even if it was very explicit and gore as usual, the goal here was to talk about all the horrible things that cult leaders in religion would do, you know. As I mentioned earlier, this band is my exception. Even if the lyrics are not my thing, I love the band so much that I'm going for the vibe. Also, obviously, the music is so good, and to me, no other band sounds like them. While we're talking about the lyrics, I also wanted to mention that Dickie wasn't the only songwriter. He said that he did like half of them, and the rest was a group effort. Also, fun fact, they specifically chose the name of the album just to have the abbreviation EGG, which to me is super funny in itself. Before moving on real quick, he's sleeping right now.
That's cute.
Hello. Okay, sorry. Believe it or not, even if the band was super controversial in every possible way, the album was extremely well received, charting everywhere. And by that, I mean everywhere. Of course, some of the reviews were negative, which was expected, but I was very pleasantly surprised to see the overwhelming amount of great comments and positivity. We usually don't see that in deathcore, not even today. I don't know, it's mind-blowing to me. In terms of official videos, before releasing the album, they made one for their song Motherless Miscarriage. No, I won't describe what's happening. I think once again, it's pretty clear. And in February 2017, they made another one for their song Blasphemian. This video is my personal favorite. Super goofy and weird, matching perfectly the vibe of the band. It somehow reminded me of the song Hell Song by Sum 21. I think it's also very important to mention that it's wild for a band like Infant and Later to get millions of views. It's crazy.
Yeah, I can say that too because when I go for other music videos just like that one, I think the one that got most I saw was probably like 500k views, but I've never seen like a deathcore band get that many views.
It's crazy. Marketing wise, I think it's cool because they really have their own brand, their own identity. Their merch game is always on point. And a big part of that, I think, is their logo. Super iconic and memorable. And for what it's worth, I even think that their alternate logo is as cool as their main one, which is a rare thing. And now, before moving on, a very important thing happened in 2017, And I'm pretty sure most of you will remember the Infant Annihilator discography was fully removed from Spotify for being quote unquote too offensive. Of course, it was a terrible decision from Spotify. The fans were not happy at all. I mean, a lot of people were even signing petitions online, fully supporting the band, trying to bring back their music on the platform. It was this whole thing. I mean, some people even made videos about it. It was a big deal in the deathcore community. And by the way, while we're here, it's very rarely a good idea to censor art. It doesn't make any sense. Like, would you censor an horror movie because it's too gore or something?
Nope.
Now, it's hard to tell if it was the petitions or just the fact that everybody was talking about it, but later on, during the same year in 2017, the band made an announcement on Facebook, happy to tell all their fans that the music was back on the platform officially. By the way, quite a big difference in terms of monthly listeners since 2017. Then in 2000,
I think now they're like 1 million, because this video was like a year ago.
2018, they started recording together again, and during the summer, they released some other amazing studio updates.
So this was the album that got the studio updates. That was for Three Bastards.
Of course, it got people very excited about it. In 2019, they kept teasing the fans with like multiple posts and stuff until they finally released a brand new video for their song Three Bastards.
They're funny.
The video concept was pretty simple. It was all filmed on the beach. Kind of looked like a video the Backstreet Boys would do. Maybe except the part that they were puking together, I guess. The song was great, maybe a little more polished, but with the same old vibe. I think it was a great way to promote the new album. Speaking of which, in September 2019, the band officially released their brand new album called The Battle of Yaldabaoth.
It's the Battle of Yabadath.
Yaldabaoth.
Or Yabadath, whatever you call it.
Yaldabaoth. Oh my god. Just... Wow, man, this album is absolutely incredible. As I said, to me, it feels a little more polished. I don't know if the production was different somehow. Maybe it's just the vibe that I got from it. It's not a negative thing. It feels just more refined and polished. That being said, it's so good. Dickie's vocals were insanity. I don't think he sounded human even once on the album, which
When did he?
clearly was the goal, but God, he nailed it. The abbreviation for the album this time was The Boy, which, by the way, is so part of their brand that they're gonna have to do it for every album at this point. Once again, I won't go in details for the lyrics. I think you get the picture. Super upsetting and disturbing, as usual. In terms of collaboration, once again, they had some amazing features, including Alex Terrible and Trevor Sternad. The instrumental is so sick. Like, it's so technical that I would personally classify it as tech debt. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's incredibly fast and melodic and weird. in the most beautiful way. I sincerely believe that this album is a masterpiece, and clearly I'm not the only one since it charted everywhere. The reviews were mostly positive, even comparing the band to Cattle Decapitation, which I didn't see at first, but then as I was re-listening to it, I see it now. In one of the reviews, I thought it was interesting
was
because
similar.
he mentioned that whether or not Aaron can actually play the drum parts doesn't matter because he can still write amazing parts. But apparently it did matter to some people because after Aaron released this playthrough, a lot of people pointing out that they couldn't see the microphones and the whole thing was fake and all that. Basically saying that Aaron cannot play the drum. Anyway, it didn't matter because I think it basically just gave the band even more exposure. I didn't speak with Aaron, but I would bet that he doesn't care. And that, my friend, pretty much brings us to today. The band is still extremely relevant. They have a very good presence online. Dickie Allen is very well respected, even considered a legend. Obviously, now everyone just wants to hear new music from them. Are we gonna get something new from Annihilator soon? Time will tell. If you're still watching,
There is a new album. This was a long time ago.
thank you so much. It means the world. If you want to support me, please leave a like and subscribe. I'm also starting my own clothing line, which is going to be a great way to support me if you want. As I said before, you can hang out with us in our Discord. And of course, during our live podcast on Twitch every Wednesday. It's crazy the amount of love and support that I'm getting. I'm so grateful. You guys are absolutely amazing. And I know I usually finish my video by being crazy out there and mushing everywhere, but I don't want to scare this little guy, so we're just gonna end up super relaxed like this, and I'm gonna be moshing next time, okay? I'll see you in the next one.
Alright. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos. And I'll see you guys. Bye.